Well, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, good night. If you happen to be getting ready to go to sleep and you're falling asleep during this podcast, that's great. Wonderful to be putting you to sleep as well as driving along with you. Hi, I'm Missye K McG, your hostess of the Average Joe Q podcast, or rather Average Joe podcast, because it's anything but. I don't have any particular topic for you today. Thank you for sharing this third rock from the sun with me, we call Earth. But I'm going to share with you a recording that I made with a girlfriend of mine over why you shouldn't fuck around and find out. And forgive the language in this, it's pretty salty. Of course it is for me. But I should let you know that it's a recording of this one anyway, of another recording that I made earlier this year. And in summary, don't steal other people's money. Not to mention, people, it's just money. Okay? Money is the reason why and how people react to it. That's two reasons, rather. The world is so jacked up as it is. Really? Go back to bartering, go back to trading, go back to you do for me, I'll do for you, and no dirty fucking paper on it with a green painted picture should not come in between us. Or gold, or silver, or jewels, or whatever. You can't take none of it with you. So, that said, without all further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in with the listen, shall we? Turn your microphones or headphones up as much as you can. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, let's try it again. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and let's get a conversation going. Thanks so much for being here. I love you, each and every one of you, from the bottom of my heart. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get going in 3, 2, 1. Anyway, she agreed to give that a try. And I was then moving outside of my car when somebody else started speaking after what Linda had said. And that's when Gaia jumped in with, okay, excuse me. Sounded for all the world like Dolores Umbridge. Okay? And by the way, all names mentioned in this particular podcast have been changed to preserve some dignity and some honor. Carrying on. Started speaking after what Linda had said. And that's when Gaia jumped in with, okay, excuse me. Sounded for all the world like Dolores Umbridge. Okay? And I'm like, could we please start Alex now? I know everybody wants to talk and everybody wants to excited and everything. And I even give 3 hours for everybody talking. But I really would like to hear Alex right now. And everybody cacophonously, but jumped in with, okay, no, you're good. That's when she doubled down and blew up and said, I don't want to hear that I'm good. I'm the hostess of the I want to hear Alex. I don't want to spend 6 hours listening to all of you chatter. I am here to hear Alex. Thank you. Now put him on, please. Oh, yeah. Paraphrasing mine, but words to that effect. We were in stunned silence. We were like, okay, we'll put on Alex. The rub, though, is that after this, Susan sent her a check for $50, explaining that Ted and Michelle were generally running it, and because she was newer to this whole thingamabob that we've been doing all this time, she didn't know what the proper protocols were, and she figured Gaia did. So she sent in her check and then emailed me, meaning Susan, to let me know, oh, It looks like your Canadian Post found its way to the United States. Thank you so much for your kind donation and your generous gift. And she explicitly, meaning Susan, put notes in with the 50 that give this, please cash this, but make sure it's understood that it goes part to Ted and part to Michelle, to whomever is running the Zoom, because Michelle was running the Zoom too, not just Gaia, but she was made host on it on occasion because she knew Michelle had her own Zoom. Now, I'm thinking Gaia took the check because Gaia's got her own Zoom. So she figured, hey, free money, I'm running a Zoom, let's do this. Susan misunderstood, maybe, wait a minute, no, that half of that was supposed, or a part of that was supposed to go to Ted, a part of that was supposed to go to Michelle, and maybe a part of that to you, if they didn't, because they're the ones that have been laying out the Zoom money and the Alex money for the most, because they're more secure than the rest of us are. And Gaia continued to say, thank you for the donation, thank you for the gift. And Ted did not see one thin dime, one red cent of that money, and told Susan that, and Susan broke down and cried. Mind you, this is from the same woman who was on the Alex replay, also listening to an episode, interview 10, if you go on alexcollier.org and alexcollier.net, a gentleman named Dr. Matthew Johnston, who interviewed the Bigfoot people or the forest people or the tree people. They are above board, above integrity, through and through and through, and they can't stand duplicitousness. How come Gaia was on that same damn Zoom call with us, listening to that podcast, knowing these people don't like that level of duplicitousness everybody else is doing? Now, she's doing it to somebody else within the group. About your karma, I guess, theory, which is fine, and I'm all right with it. It's just a shitty thing to do. You know what I mean? That's what I'm pissed about. And in my astrological chart, I'm always about two things about, you know about me?
Three,
loyalty and justice and fairness. She explicitly said, hey, this money is supposed to go to Ted and go to Michelle. Where's their money? Thank you for the donation. Okay. You stole it then. So what if she's on that call today on Amanda's? I'm gonna call her out and say, Gaia, how come you stole Susan's money? Watch her jump from there. Watch. She won't be able to show her face again until she pays back Susan. At minimum, because my stipulation was the least she could do was apologize to everybody in the group. That won't happen. That I feel it in my heart and I feel it in my solar plexus just now. Nope, not going to happen. The second part of that I'm feeling is that there's no point in announcing in there. They're not going to care. They're going to still find reasons to love her, and people make a mistake and excuses and blah, blah, blah. You know what? Not that I, should care this much. It's the principle. You know what I mean? And I feel you when you were saying similar about a situation that you had gone through. Oh, it was recent. I forgot what it was. Something about gingerbread houses. I'm not sure what it was. But anyway, excuse me. You went through a situation similar as did I, with a writing group. And when it comes to money, and unfortunately, this was done by design, that when you have that kind of a misunderstanding, not misunderstanding, but an intentional fracture and an intentional fissure created when you didn't have to, whether it's a past life or a karma, you know what? Do the fucking right thing and just give them the money. It's just money. It's not like you can take it with you. And unless they found a way to take it with you, why are you acting like it's me? And you're going to turn around and tell people the same thing that you yourself are not doing? So yeah, I'm gonna be a gadfly to this one. Yeah. When are you gonna send in that check, honey? What are we talking about, a check? Why don't you ask Gaia? Publicly shaming. That's right. You stole somebody else's money. Somebody on this call is a thief. Someone on this call is a thief. Yep. I don't want to be a stoolie. Never in my life have I been a rat, a snitch, a fake, and a stoolie. But you know what? Never. No. You know ooh. Girl, let me get out of here. But I'm going to leave you with this story. Whoops. I used to steal quarters from my stepdad's jar. You know what I mean? And there's a joke that in a deli. He's like, how do you steal a whole salami? One piece at a time. Get it? Meaning a whole salami is going to get missed. But if you take a little slice here and a little slice there, here a slice, there a slice, there a slice. Anyway. Anyway, I kept nicking and diming my stepdad's coin stash. Unbeknownst to me, he counted that every night. So when he would put it in the exact same spot, part of me would be like, I didn't get busted, so all right. You keep doing it. They let you get to a certain point. That's when you get busted. And I'm like, oh, stupid. Why didn't you listen to yourself? You know what I mean? But whatever happened to public shaming too? And I don't mean shaming in a bad way. I mean, like, if Alex's theories, well, not theories, but prognostications and speculations are right in what Morene has been telling him, that other dimensions are checking other dimensions work, then yeah, she's got to get called on it. And she's got to get called on it publicly. That's what's making me do it. Not the fact that I'm feeling like a fake. You know what I mean? Because when you see somebody doing literally wrongdoing and say nothing, you're just as bad. So there you go. That's what's prompted me to do it. That's what's prompted me to do it. Now, are there some asshole cops in the world? I'm not saying about police here. Of course. When you get people around money, they do strange things. But if you keep your wits about you, you won't. And if you know your integral compass is never going to get out of kilter, you won't do it. You won't do it. And I'm going to cloak it in. Somebody on this call's integrity compass is out of whack. And they're living in Colorado. Yeah, oh yeah. You fucked with the wrong Gemini, honey. Yes, you did. I can come up with some clever ways to slip in there publicly. Hey, pay back that money you stole, bitch. It's not the $50, honey. It's the principle. You know what I'm saying? And when we're going to be held to account of all the shit that we've done wrong to other people, that's what I'm talking about. And that's what's delaying the nice rolling in here. Or put another way, did you ever see the movie Full Metal Jacket? You should. Anyway, see it with somebody. Don't see it by yourself. I know how you get. There's a scene in there where one of the recruits kept holding everybody up because he was fat and dumpy and overweight and wasn't proud of himself and holding everybody back. And and unfortunately, that's the hive mind. So with the hive mind, so goes, the chain is as strong as its weakest link. Shit, sore finger again. Anyway, every fuck up this recruit made, the guys had to do burpees, where you're standing upright, put your hands under the ground, jump backwards, jump up, jump your legs backwards, jump your legs back in, stand back up, repeat. Okay? That's exhausting. And the men were doing that 16, 17, 18. Every fuck up he had, they had to do his punishments. So one night, they took their bars of soap and wrapped it in their towels. And while he was asleep, and they waited until he was in a deep sleep, everybody woke up at an assigned time, walked barefoot across the floor, barefoot across cold concrete floor. You don't hear nothing. All of them wrapped their soap in their towel. One guy got up on his bunk, took the towel, put it over his mouth, and the rest of the recruits slapped the hell out of him with their soap. He got soaped. They beat him with their soap bars in the towel. That was a weapon. And he woke up crying. Oh my God. Ow, ow, ow. I mean, big crying like big baby. Yep. But something snapped in him. You could see it in his eyes. And if you saw the movie Psycho,
see that one too.
The tail end of it, yeah, that.
See that one too, people.
And he took it out on his drill sergeant. Movie's fantastic. It's by Kubrick, called Full Metal Jacket. And the reason why I say all that is because maybe something snapped in her. I don't know. I mean, but that's not good. And it's not a question of, and I bring that up to say, yo, you gotta stop. And you know something? One of the Janu, when I was earlier this year, and when Gaia was on the call, stood in front of me and said, people on this call in times past and now present are untrustworthy. People on this call in times past and now present are untrustworthy on this call. And I said, when I said Jane, in times past and now present. Ooh, that's making me scared. Yeah, but it's a good thing. They want us to be trustworthy because they want us to have this good rolling in. And the recruits did that. Were they right to do that? The guy ended up taking his life in the movie, by the way. Well, the one that got soaped. And he took the drill sergeant out, but he took his life too. And that changed the recruit that found him. But that's one of many things I'm sure the government's covered up that Kubrick was trying to expose. But laying out that bare and that stark and that raw and that untouched and that, yeah, wow. Wow, 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 wow. See the movie and see it with somebody. I wish I could see it with you. It would be great. We should one night have a watch party. And, I guess you could do like on separate coast times or whatever. I'm not really sure. I could find out for you. That wouldn't be a bad idea.
3 and 6 is
Sit
fine.
down and watch a movie with you. No problem. All right, let me get out of here. I took enough of your time. Happy reading, happy listening, and I'll talk to you later. Love you much. Bye-bye.
Love you, Missy. Thanks very much for all of that. I'm really enjoying listening to it all. I'm absolutely shattered.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please excuse the slight editing snafu, adding that other voice in there that's not mine. I won't say her name because I want to protect her innocence and at least protect the moron. And if you happen to hear me muttering in the background earlier, I was working out something else and talking with somebody else. And, well, the recording got away from me. The point is, you know what you will and won't tolerate. And everybody, including yourselves, are getting to the point where you won't even tolerate within yourself some of the bullshit you've tolerated all this time. You know what I mean? And that includes, and not limited to, don't steal from you. Don't steal your time. Don't steal your belongings. Whatever those might be. You got to use them while you're still here. But don't steal your boundaries. Don't steal your energy. Don't steal your heart. Sure as shit, don't steal your emotions. Don't steal your frequency, your vibe, your joy, your peace of mind. And I saw a story earlier this week where young people are starting to save and invest in their money. And, like this one article of a 23-year-old who amassed $250,000, and she'd been saving since she started working and put in her 401k, and it just doubled and compounded and compounded and compounded and compounded. That's how she got the money so quickly. That and mommy and daddy matched her amount she saved. Well, the financial experts are now saying, because mommy thinks she's raised a monster in that she can cover a check every now and again. No, I'm saving money. No, I'm saving money. No, I'm saving money. No, I'm saving money. Oh, but everybody else can spend money on your dime, on their dime, but you can't front the check. So the experts, or one of them anyway, one I used to follow quite a lot, had said, okay, mom, dad, she's 23. She's got $250,000. Stop matching her money. Stop matching the money. Go ahead and start taking care of yourself now. Because if she doesn't want to make, because she's, there's a difference between earned money and gifted money. Okay? Hella difference between earned and gifted. Okay? Gifted, no matter what it is, if you have a particular standard in which, like, let's say, for instance, this one's wife. And you've got a lifestyle in which you've grown accustomed. Well, this one's wife, or even you perhaps, wouldn't even dream of having you work in a Panera. Oh, heaven forbid. Or working at I don't know, someone's food cart. I don't know. Heaven forbid. But you know what? If you're starting from zero and you got nowhere to go but up, guess what you're going to do? Now, some of you out here would be like, no, I'm not. I'm just going to go find me a rich man and I'll just sit around all day. Oh, hey, that's another option. If that's what you're meant to do, vaya con Dios, and may the winds always be at your back. But for the rest of us who's got more sense than that, not to say you looking for Mr. Richie don't have sense. I mean, you got sense in your own way. But those of us who would rather not parasitically live off somebody else, because let's just call it what it is. You're living off somebody else. You are. You are. If you're not making your own and you're spending his or your new companion in your life, I refuse to use the word partner. I just won't do it. Okay. But you know, in the back of your mind, you could be doing better than this. And no, I can't you can make your own money. You don't, what your occupation is spending it. Okay, well then go work somewhere where you can spend money while you're making your own. How about that? Ooh, what an idea. But anyway, say you're at a lifestyle which you're accustomed. Okay? While that might be fine, for other people it's not. And the fact is, you need to get your own, because when you do have your own, it's a sense of accomplishment. It's a sense of pride. It's a sense of, damn, I did this. Damn, I did this? Me? I did all those long nights crying, sitting up, weeping. Yeah, you did that. You did it. And that sense of, and then that's when you will seriously have a new appreciation for money or anything else you happen to earn. And while I'm thinking about it, and while on the topic, anybody in a same-sex relationship, and I'm not dumping on you on that, I will though, if you bring a kid into the mix and you don't have an opposite sex example for that child to see. Now, mind you, I don't eschew you not wanting no dude or not wanting no woman, because you have seen shit examples of both. And being a female, of course I am. No, I am not store-bought. I am genuine. I am the genuine article. And then no, you're not going to come check. If you can't hear it in my voice, you're stupider than you look. Anyway, ladies and gentle peoples, boys and girls, the point here is, we as human beings have had rotten examples of how to love, how to care, how to trust, how to be good and kind, how to be nice. No, not nice. Be good and kind and sweet and loving and beautiful to each other. Mind you, we've had a lot of help, and that's another topic for another time, in learning how to be all those terrible things beforehand. But if you intentionally, I'm speaking to the people of intentionally leaving out a man or intentionally leaving out a woman, one of those with that make actual milk for the baby, and men don't do that. And intentionally leaving the kid without a mom or without a dad. No, Mom, you cannot be a daddy on Father's Day. No, Pop, you can't be a mother on Mother's Day. And thank goodness, all of that, even the strongest moms are fathers today too. No, they're not. No, they are not. So I'm going to get in front of this right now before we hit Father's Day of 2025. I didn't hear not one thing in the media, thank God I didn't, of fathers or mommies too. No. Mother's Day is just that. Mommy's Day. When a dude can roll out a child out of his backside, full breathing, fully formed, and he's okay and able to recover, and that dirty chute is able to go right back into it like nothing happened, then yes, I will believe a man can have a baby. Until then, conversely, if she gets him pregnant, hey, and makes a viable breathing child, well, on other planets that might be the case, but here on Earth, it is not. Okay? And if the four-legged animals also know that they cannot change the sex in which they rolled out of the womb from, what makes you think human beings could do that? Again, another topic for another time. I do not care. I do not care. But this science is available, but that science... No. First of all, numbers can be juggled to fit any situation. Numbers can be played with and juggled to fit any occasion and any situation. You can even recalibrate a scale for it to read -5 if you're obviously over 300. So, don't give me none of that garbage. That's one. Two, if you've got deceased relatives and one of them had a conscience and a heart of gold, that family member will nig on you and poke on you and jostle you and knock you upside the head and give you a flick at your temples or pulling your earlobe or something. Hey, here's the situation. You know you're doing wrong. You know you're doing wrong. And I'm watching you. And I'm very disappointed. I'm not gonna be here to cuss you, but this is your deceased family member telling you this. You know what? I'm disappointed in you. I helped raise you better than that. And you're gonna raise my godnephew, my grandnephew, my grandniece, my grandson, my granddaughter with no opposite sex? That might be your choice, but what about the child? What about the godnephew, the godniece, the grandchild, the grandniece, the grandnephew? What about the kid's feelings? Did you ask if the kid wants to have two mommies? If the kid wants to have two daddies? No. Do that mess on your own time. Whether or not it's a soul contract or you agreed to it or some other blah, blah, blah like that. No. If animals of the four-legged variety, if reptiles of the Slytherin and four-leg or beyond variety, if the birds of every variety don't do this, we're going to raise two chicks, we're two mothers raising two babies. Sure. Right. Bird will be laughed out of the bird world. So what makes you humans honestly think that you can sit and say, I'm going to lop off my boobies, I'm going to ruin my vajayjay, and I'm going to get myself a store-bought schmeckle, and I'm going to be a dude? Okay. All right, well, if you want to go ahead and be, roll out being Frankenmonster, knock yourself out. Not I, said this duck. And everybody who has done that, sadly, you won't hear about it in the press. No. That nasty legacy media, you won't hear about that. Nope. Wanna know why? Because everybody who did that were sorry they did. And they went back to being the sex in which they rolled out of the womb with. Yeah, duh. I might be a very masculine female, which there is such things. And you can hear it in my voice. I'm a pretty masculine female, but I'm still a female. Okay? Can I outrun my husband and son? Hell no. But can I outthink them? Yes. Here's another way to put it. Men and women are very strong in very different ways. Men are physically stronger. We are physiologically, meaning women. Women are physiologically stronger. Studies show that when a man and a woman break up, it takes a dude 3 times longer to get over losing her than it does her losing him. The expression, it's cheaper to keep her, Behind every great man is a great woman. Happy wife, happy life. And my favorite, a 4-star general has a 5-star general. Yeah, and she's working at home. Exactly. When men are by themselves, it's not a good, especially for a long time. No, it's not good. It is absolutely not good. When a woman is by herself for a long, long time, nope, also not good. She's going Lulu. He, on the other hand, reverts more and more and more back to a little boy. And you see a lot of men having dogs and a lot of women having cats. Because men and women don't know how to get along with one another, again, by design, another topic for another time. Men and women don't know how to talk with one another, another topic for another time. But once you acknowledge that men and women don't know how to talk to one another because you, audience, don't know how to talk to yourself. And here's another way to put it. Many of you out here love animals. Sure you do. I love them to death. And whenever I see a dog or a cat, man boy, man cat. And the past weekend with his Preakness and Sandman came in third, I'm like, oh, Sandman, man boy. How come you don't talk that way to yourself? How come you don't tell yourself, hey, little Missy, man, Missy girl, yeah, girl? It sounds silly, doesn't it? But don't you give all that love? If you give all that loving to the animals, give that same kind of, oh yeah, they're loving unto you, yeah, boy, yeah, cute girl. No, seriously, give that self-love. Tell yourself that in the mirror for a couple days. Oh, look at that cute girl in the mirror. Yeah, look at that smiling. Look at that face. If you do to yourself in the mirror what you do to your animals and your pets, you make yourself laugh, you make yourself crack yourself up, and you'll lift your spirits too. But if you're in a place where you're not able to do that right now, that's okay too. Reach out, get help, find someone you can trust to talk to. I always love mail if I've earned your trust, and hopefully I did. Like I said at the top of this broadcast, like, share, subscribe, comment. I want to see some action below below that white line and right in underneath the description box. And let me know your thoughts. Okay? So, little housekeeping things, and I'm going to shoot on out of here. GhostHawke@gmail. GhostRogue1 on Telegram. 950 Eisenhower Boulevard, Harrisburg, PA. 17111 US Unit 142/236. Okay? And I would share my, as well as I'm accepting donations as small as $1. As well as, please go out and get my book. I would love for you guys to get a read, get your thoughts. I'm working on a little bit of a surprise where my sister from another mister, I'm happy to announce, personally knows somebody I'm in love. Well, I'm not in love with him, but I love his work. I've seen his work a bunch of times. I'll never get tired of his movies. And he's just a stand-up guy. I'm not going to mention it here. I will not. I don't want to ruin the chance of possibly him reading my book. Anyway. But somebody, I will say, somebody from Duran Duran did pick up my book, and I'm loving it. And he left me a shout out on social, and I'm thrilled. As well as Frankie Avalon's grandson, I understand, read it, and he loved it because his name is in the book too. I didn't know his name. His grandson's name is Logan. I did not know that. Now I do. Anyway, all the housekeeping things are out the way. Thanks so much for being here. Again, smash that like button, share, subscribe, comment, give me some love if I've earned it. And thanks again for being here. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.